Ray, why do you have like CPTSD like that? Like, you seem so chipper. Why do you have these days that absolutely shut you down? Well, let's just talk about like the one big thing that my family does not want me to talk about here on social media because there's so many followers. Well, you know what? The only person who's benefiting from me not telling the truth is my narcissistic dad. Okay? So I drank the Kool-Aid so hard growing up. I wanted to be accepted and understood so hard, right? That all comes to like a big climax to this one big event. My dad did a deathbed deal with my grandma to steal the land that she owned from the inheritance of his siblings. He was going to like pay them out. That's what he like penance that he said, right? But he did a deathbed deal without informing all of them so that he purchased it. But the thing was that he had unpaid child support from his first marriage. Okay. Now he had fed the Kool-Aid to my oldest brother, the oldest from his like first marriage, so well that my brother agreed to sign on to the $20,000 loan from the loan shark at 21% and to have the deed in his name with the understanding and circumstances that my dad would get it out of his name in a year. That never happened. 3 years later, my dad has asked my oldest brother to run his business that's in my mom's name so that the state can't garnish his wages. And he has asked my brother to get a personal credit card to put the running expenses on that credit card. When my brother asked my dad, hey, can the business please pay off this credit card because I don't want to have interest on it, my dad was like, what expenses? That's on you. That's not on me. My brother's like, okay, read the room. Fuck you. I'm out. Bye. And like, my dad never paid for that. Okay. But then who's the next responsible one? I was the oldest of my mom and dad's kids, right? And so then my dad asked me to sign, to have my oldest brother, who's still like enough drinking the Kool-Aid that he'll sign the deed over into my name because it can't be in my dad's name because the state will come and garnish it, right? So the house isn't in my dad's name. And then the like business that my dad runs and operates is in my mom's name. Both are in my mom's name, right? Okay, so then what makes this even like crazier is for like 7 years, they don't pay their taxes. And then they constantly are doing new applications for the house. And so like for 5 years, they haven't paid a mortgage payment because when it's in that application process, you don't have to pay. Okay? Like the like deck of cards is stacking. It gets signed into my name. 5 years later, after that, of me signing this deed into my name, the loan's still in my brother's name from the loan shark. They have like made payments and caught up on payments or whatever, but the $20,000, there's only, after all of this time, the principal's only gone down $1,000. Okay? Now this is like 7 years after the fact of this loan. So this loan shark has made back in interest, the initial $20,000, and now he's like doubling over his money, right? And at the 5-year mark of it being in my name, my brother is trying to buy a house and finds out that the loan is still in his name from the loan shark. He did not check it. He wasn't talking to my dad. He's like out, like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, we ain't cool. And then he reaches out to me. Now, at this time, the thing that's like most important is that my second son is like, had just been born like at 20, I think it's 29 weeks. My second son is fighting for his life. He's 2 pounds, 14 ounces. He is in the NICU and like not doing well, right? So this is like, you want to talk about like, I'm a young family. My wife has like, her water broke 6 weeks before, so she's been bedridden for 6 weeks, and then our son is born, and like for the first 5 days he's fine, he's thriving, and then all of a sudden everything is like crashing. Like I forget all the terms, but he was like turning yellow because his liver's not working, and then they do a scan on him, they do an MRI, and he has like, he's 2 pounds 14 ounces, and he has a ping pong ball size abscess on his liver, right? He's like fighting for his life, and then I'm getting this fucking call from my dad that like, hey, could you sign the deed to this fucking 40 acres back over to me so that Dan doesn't get it? And I'm like, fuck you, Dad, you didn't take responsibility for your first 3 kids, and then you put the responsibility on me, and now you want me to sign it over because like you're gonna get fucked because someone can finally fuck you back? No, fuck you and all your stupid irresponsible shit. And you're not being man enough to man up the fucking shit that you had. And you put it on your kids. Fuck you. So I don't sign it over to him, and I sign it over to my brother. And then, and then my brother asked me, hey, does dad owe you money? And he did owe me money. But I was like, my integrity of my soul was like, I'm not going to take a dime from that sale of that land. But thinking that it would matter. Well, you know what? It didn't fucking matter, because in the next 12 years of my life, then he's used it. When I was 16, I thought my dad would become super dad again, because when my older siblings moved in with us, even though he had never paid child support, when my older siblings moved in with us, my dad became super dad for a year. And I thought, oh great, my dad will become super dad again. He'll be present again in my life. When I get 16, I turned 16 and nothing fucking happened. And that was the second time in my life where my hero failed. So when this happened, the Kool-Aid that I've been drinking from my dad has started to wear off. And I was like, no, man, things need to be made right with Dan. So I signed it over to Dan. I signed it over to my oldest brother, and he got the chance to sell it, and all of the debts that were owed to him were made right. And then when at 16, when my dad had become super dad to me, my caring heart was like, I have 7 younger siblings at 16. And I was like, I cannot for the life of me let them feel like I feel. So I bought a big ass Suburban. And everywhere I went, if they were home, I asked them if they wanted to go everywhere. And I took them with me everywhere. I lost friendships over that. I lost so much just because I was like, I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to have a good childhood. I want you to have good memories. I want you to love life like I love life. Whew. So when this happened and I signed the fucking deed to my brother, my dad took the opportunity to slander my name and say I no longer had balls, that my balls were in my wife's purse, and that I wasn't the Ray that they know. I wasn't the kind, caring person, that I had changed, that I was this selfish bitch, cunt of a kid. And all of this amazing time that I had with my siblings between 16 and 19, and the relationships I built with them are now getting torn apart. Where they don't believe me, they don't trust what I'm saying, they don't turn to me, they're listening to my dad's Kool-Aid. Rip me. It hurts today. I was talking to my sister, who also got black sheep from the family, and I was like, you know what's so hard about being a black sheep? What's so fucking hard about being is that your heart remembers how much you love everybody, but your mind's clear enough to know why you don't engage. Because it's not safe. I have these conversations with my kids. I got 4 kids. And I have these conversations about my dad and how I still love my dad. Right? But I don't trust my dad. And these conversations with my siblings, and man, and the thing about that complex trauma, the reason I have this complex trauma is that I have tried in so many ways to be the bigger person. And the things on this app have really helped me to go to therapy, understand stuff, start expressing my emotions, start letting it out. And now we're facing fucking this this app not being here. And this app has been amazing for me to finally understand the shit that I didn't understand, right? I remember as a kid, how do you process through stuff? How do you feel emotions? I couldn't, emotions weren't safe. I couldn't feel my emotions. I'd get made fun of, or I'd get my emotions weren't valued. Who I wasn't valued. I had to be somebody else to be safe. And this app showed me that I could be brave enough. I could heal. Other people had gone through it like me. Man, this app was the first time that I felt people saw my art. I hid my art for so long because it's my soul, sharing my art. I realized in the shower 2 days ago that the only people that have my art are the people that I love. I love them. And it's because I love them, I want them to have a piece of my soul, and so then I make art for them. I'm at the 10-minute mark. I'm gonna freaking post this whole thing just the way it is. I ain't editing shit. I hope you have a good day. You deserve a good day.